Okay, so welcome back. In this video we're looking at collision detection, and we've got to stop our player or our sprite from walking into the walls here. If we come back over to our play.php page, I've created a little function within our JavaScript just called collision detect, and it takes one parameter, which is the x, and we're posting that parameter over to an unknown page at the moment, but it's going to contain all of our scripts for our map. So we're posting over direction, and then we're returning a message from that page, and then we're outputting that message variable out to where we're using the collision detect function. Now, inside of our move character function, I've extended it slightly, and we're now using this collision detect inside an if statement on each of the directions. So, after we initiate the first if statement, we then initiate a second if statement, saying if collision detect of x. So we're reusing that value right there, so it'd be up, down, left or right. And if it equals true, then we go ahead and allow the character to move. If it equals false, it won't allow us to move. So coming over to a PHP script, after initiating the connection to our database, we're running a query. We're just selecting the class state from our maps table, and passing the returned information into an SQL variable, and then outputting the objects into a row variable. Now, because the data inside of our class state is just one long string of ones and zeros, they're all delimitated by commas. So in order for us to make an array out of that, and something we can use, we're just exploding the string into an array by the comma. So now we're left with 100 different variables inside of this array, each with its own index between 0 and 99. So now we need to work out how we're going to use our coordinate data to reference the right index, so we can look up the correct tile state of the direction that we want to go. Now, if we look at our map goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, etc. along the top, and 1, 2, 3, etc. down the left hand side for the coordinates. Now, the tiles, however, work differently. Along the top we've got 1, 2, 3 through to 10. Then we start again down on the second row, starting at 11 through to 20, 21 to 30, 31 to 40, etc. And that goes all the way down to 100. And that's just the way we've recorded our map. Right. So if we imagine this as a long line of singular tiles, we need to work out which tile number our character is currently sitting on, and that is pretty easy to do. If we retake our x and y coordinates, and we'll just paste them in here, we need to use these two coordinates to turn them into a tile ID, so to speak. And the way we're going to do this, so we'll just name this variable ID, is we're going to take the y coordinate, which is the coordinates that run down the left hand side. So y coordinate, and we're going to minus 1 from it. That will take us one row above our character. We're then going to multiply that number by 10, and then we're going to add on the x coordinate minus 1. Right. Oh, I can't save it yet. So let's have a look. So we first take the y coordinate. Our y coordinate is 5. So we are 5 tiles down. We're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We minus 1 from it, and that gives us 4. Now we multiply it by 10. So we're currently on row 4. Multiplying it by 10 then gives us a tile ID of 40, which leaves us here. Now by adding on the x coordinate, which is 6, we then go from 40 to 41 to 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, and that lands us on our character's tile. But due to our array, the array obviously goes from 0 to 99 and not from 1 to 100. We need to then minus 1 from the x variable to bring us a place, if we were looking at our tile map, to bring us a place before our character. But really we are actually on our character, if that makes any sense. Right, so whereas we should be on tile ID of 46, we're actually referencing tile ID of, or an index number of 45 to give us the correct tile ID in relation to the array. So we're now echoing out our we've now got the correct array index we need. So now we need to use the posted direction to figure out whether we can make the move in the direction we want to go. Okay, so we're collecting now the direction we were travelling in. Now, if direction equals up, we need to take the ID, and we're now going to find the index. So we take the ID and minus 10 from it. So we're looking for the block or the tile state of the one above us. And if we're going down, we're adding 10 on. And that's to find if the block below us is a solid or not. Now if we're going left or right, we're only minusing or adding 1. So then what we can do is we can do we just say echo what's our right, so state, and we'll put index in there. So if the state with the index of our final number equals 0, then we're going to echo out true. Else we want to echo out false. So now we're echoing out whether it's true or false. It'll echo out here and should return a true or false value for here. So if we now come over and save this, and we'll just save this as we'll just say this as map for now. We're going to rearrange all this in a minute, and we're just posting to map.php. If we refresh this, providing everything's gone to plan, we should be able to move up. We can't move left, we can't move down, right, up. Oh, Golden Bennett, okay. Let's make that an alert message. Okay, so after a little bit of playing about, it turns out that the if condition is running, it's all sort of running ahead of itself before the the collision detect function had finished processing. So we've got rid of the collision detect function, and we've just put in the post request in the actual move character function. So on the successful return on the callback, we're then saying if message equals true, then we're executing the move, and else we're just executing nothing. So here we go. So on move up, we can move up and we can move down, but we can't move left or right. And even if we come down here, we can't move left or right at the moment, because on our map.php page, our coordinates are is static data. So we can't move. They're not changing, so we can only continue to move in the up or down position, position, because that's where we are. Anyway, that's me finished rambling on about that one. The next thing we're going to look at is actually inputting the data, our coordinates, into our character database, and then we can really start to move about the map and read the walls as they would usually be read when we're moving about, rather than being locked to this up and down movement only as it stands here. So before the end of the video, we'll just come into our user characters, go into the structure, and we will add 2 fields on the end here, and we'll just call this map X and map Y. We can make these tiny integers because they're only going to be between 1 and 10, and we'll save that. And on my current character, in fact what I'll do with these is I'll set the defaults in a minute, and I'll just come and change them on here to 2 and 2, so we're up in that top corner. Right, so this is the end of this video. I'm sorry it's been a bit of a shambles around certain areas, but we'll continue on movement in the next video.